feelings are real, and they be attracted to how you be feeling, love.
I'ma tell the truth. What it is, people, what's good, what's going on, how's everybody doing out there in the land of the living? Listen, it's your boy, Elder Casey. We are in the building, CL8 Studios, baby, Rated Baby Production. This is the new start of the Tell the Truth and Stay Saved show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking your time out and hanging out there with your boy. You know what I'm talking about? We thank the Lord for you. We don't take this lightly, but we are grateful to the Most High, all that He's doing, not only in your life, but in the lives of all the believers. Let me say what's up to the people. Yeah. We get that all good. But listen, man, we had a wonderful day today. I'm talking about listen. Truth can't even be told, man, about what went down at Boom Church, Atlanta. We had an awesome time, awesome fellowship, man. That right? Second. No, you. There we go. All right, we in the building. Now, we had an awesome time in fellowship today, man. Oh man, those voices of Boom, let me tell you, they sung they butt off. They sung they butt off. Listen, man, y'all let me know if my volume is sounding right. Put a 1 in the chat or something like that, and let me know. Everything is everything is copacetic. I don't know why my point that you know how things don't ever work out the way you want them to. I mean, you spend all the time doing all the pre-production and all that kind of stuff, and at the end of the day, things still don't kind of work out for you, and that's what I'm kind of dealing with. But you know, these technical difficulties, but we gonna keep it going anyway. Anywho, but listen, man, I just get on here real quick, man. I'm gonna be on for a little bit, man. I was sent this particular video from a friend of mine, beloved brother of mine, and sent it out to some brothers and asked them to take a look at the video. And I must say that the video it was quite interesting. It was very quite interesting. There were some things that this particular pastor spoke about that. But yeah, this pastor, now I don't know the name. Let me go and find out. I don't know the name of this pastor or where his church is. But he did a video, I think it was about two weeks ago or so, and he basically said in the video that he quit ministry. So you heard it right. He said that he quit the ministry. I'm gonna play this video and I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna share my thoughts about it. And I'm gonna get on up out of here. Now, one thing I will not do is I will not talk negative or disrespectfully toward this particular pastor. I have no comments on the reasoning why he did what he did. I only want to talk about what he did. He's a man of God, and I'm going to give him that respect as a man of God, and I'm not going to disrespect him or belittle him in any way. And please, you in the comment section, man, we not gonna do no bashing, we're not gonna do no hating, we're not gonna do none of that, because that's not what we're about. What we are about is telling the truth and staying safe by all means necessary. And so with that said, like I say, I don't know this pastor's name, um, but I definitely want to give a look and give a listen to this particular uh video. So listen, before we get into this video, man, do your boy a favor. Excuse me, you already know what I'm gonna ask for. You already know. Go ahead on it, man, and like and share, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. And I tell you what, if you desire to be on the Tell the Truth and Stay Safe show as a guest, or you have any topics that you want me to talk about, and you would love for me to talk about, hey man, send me an email at tellthetruthandstaysaved@gmail.com. That's tellthetruthandstaysaved at gmail.com. And once again, man, we would love to welcome each and every one of you to the Tell the Truth and Stay Saved show. Now let's get into this particular video, family. Let's get into this particular video.
I have never shared this before. I've definitely never shared it on social media. I don't think I've ever shared it in person. But I felt compelled to share this tonight. And what I want you to do is I need you to listen. I need you to really pay attention to what I'm saying. Don't just scroll past. Don't just try to, rush your understanding. I need you to actually listen to what I'm saying, because tonight or today, whenever you watch this, I want to tell you the shocking reason why I quit ministry. And I want to be honest with you all. I want to be straightforward. I want to be transparent. And I'm going to tell you what a lot of pastors will never tell you. A lot of pastors will never tell you this. They'll never divulge this information to you. But I'm going to tell you because you need to know. Did you know that 4,000 to 5,000, or some estimates say 4,000 to 6,000 pastors quit ministry every single year?
Wow.
4,000 to 6,000 pastors.
Wow.
Decide annually, I don't want to be in ministry anymore.
Now that's a large number.
4,000 to 5,000 pastors. Now, one may say to yourself, well, maybe they weren't called.
Well,
I used to say that all the time. I would say, you know what? Maybe they're not called to ministry. In fact, I believe that could be true. I believe there are some pastors who should have never gone into ministry because maybe they were commissioned by a denomination. Maybe they had some sort of credentialing. Maybe they went to seminary school. And because of that, they felt the next reasonable course of action was to go into full-time ministry. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's interesting. There are pastors with big churches that shouldn't be pastoring. There are pastors that may look seemingly successful who should not be pastoring. I don't believe they're called of God. I don't believe God ever sent them. Some were sent and some just went. But the question remains, when
let me stop that right down now. Now, we know that I hear a lot of pastors say that, that's said very frequent and often. Some weren't necessarily sent, but they went. I'm just saying, Pastor, I'm not saying this to you about you because I don't know you. But one would say the same thing about you. I mean, you say you let's let this thing finish playing. Let's let it finish playing. Let's let it finish.
Saw this statistic and I was at one point very insensitive to it, and I thought to myself, Man, why would that number be so high? Why do 4 to 6,000 pastors decide after answering the call, you know what, I'm not supposed to be doing this, and I don't want to do this anymore. I need you to hear me. I know you want me to rush through this, but I can't. You got to just listen. You're going to have to just be patient and let me get this out. And I want to tell you the shocking reason why I quit the ministry. I went through this season several years ago where I realized at some point that the people I was leading were not there for me.
All right.
I realized that the people I led weren't there for me. Let me give you what I mean. I went through this very difficult season.
Hold on. I can't just let that slide. I can't let that slide now. Hold on. He said that people that he were pastoring, people that were at his church, were not there for him. People that his church were not there for him. Now listen, I understand, Pastor, and I get it. That everybody that comes to a particular fellowship are not there, not necessarily there for the pastor, because nobody, this is what I'm saying, this is what Casey is saying, nobody should go to a church for a pastor. Okay? Nobody should go to a church for a pastor. I love my pastor, and I love the pastors that pastor me in my life before, the ministries that I were part of as God began to grow me in ministry. But never once was I there for a pastor. My reason for being there was to draw closer to God. Now, I understand what you're saying, Pastor, but we still have to be careful and keep things contextually. I don't believe anybody should go to a church for a pastor, because what happens if, God forbid, that pastor gets sick, or that pastor leaves that ministry, or that pastor decides that he no longer wants to be in the ministry like you? So what does that mean? When you leave, I leave? That's just me. It's just what I'm saying. Come on, let's hear him out. Let's hear him out. Fair use.
False accusations, all kinds of things, and it affected the ministry. And at that time, my wife and I decided, I'll never forget it, we both had just had it. After being in ministry for several years, we said, you know what, we don't want to do this anymore. Because a person can walk into your church. You can pray for them. You can lay hands on them. You can cast demons out of them and their kids and their dog. And when something in their estimation goes awry, if they're offended, if they're hurt, if they feel like their season is up, they can walk away from you without saying a word.
Now, hold on, y'all. I tried to say I wasn't going to try to do no nitpicking or nothing like that. But listen, I have a problem. This is me talking. This is Casey talking, okay? This is Casey talking. I have a problem when I continue to hear men and women of God speak with this it almost seems to me, now I could be wrong, they speaking with an air of why do pastors always say when they come to my church or my ministry or what I'm doing, or my this? I thought the church belonged to Christ. I get it. I understand. But what I am saying still, though, There is a thin line, because just as I'm hearing it, and I've been in ministry for a while, I've been in ministry for a while, okay, and if my ears are sensitive to hearing this, what is somebody else's ears hearing when they hadn't been in the church for 6 months? When the pastor keeps saying my church or my ministry or my member, you don't have no members. That's the problem. People don't belong to you. That's the problem. Not saying that with this pastor, but with some pastors, that they think that the people belong to them. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Members don't belong to the pastor. Okay, let me put this disclaimer out there. Hear me well, okay? I understand, excuse me, that the pastors and leaders are responsible for the souls of those individuals. I get it. I understand. That's Bible. You pray for me, you overseer, you watch me for my soul. But I don't belong to you. Okay? And why do some pastors always think because a person leaves a particular ministry that they're over, that they've left the body of Christ? I don't know if people think that their churches are supposed to be embedded in somebody for life. Like I can't eat McDonald's and eat Burger King the next day. Like I can't go eat chicken. Or I can't go eat fish. It was also, I get it. You're not supposed to have many leaders, and I understand that. But I'm talking about from the other end, and we're going to get further into this video because I got some things I want to speak on and some other stuff that he said. I mean, I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. But I believe, and I could be wrong, it's just what I believe. I believe pastors need to stop calling and addressing members as my members. They don't belong to you. They belong to the Lord. As a matter of fact, anytime I see Christ, when he spoke like that, he always spoke giving honor back to the Father, saying, those that the Father have given me. You know, maybe if pastors spoke like that or thought like that, then they wouldn't have so many problems. Let's continue.
They can walk away from you, and they can cuss you out 6 ways from sundown. They can call you everything but a child of God, and they can tell everybody around them that.
Now, I'm listen, y'all. I listened to this video more than 3-4 times in its entirety. Let me say this again. Let me rephrase that. I listened to this video maybe 3 times entirely. I watched this video twice entirely. I listened and then I watched. This statement that he's making now, to me, and I could be wrong, it seems to be as if he's taken something that happened to him on an occasion personally, and he's interjecting something that happened specifically to him, specifically into this particular message that he's saying. Now, at first he was speaking generally, and as far as on behalf of pastors in the pastoralship, but now it seems like he's speaking more of something that happened to him directly, and I could be wrong.
For them, you were just a hindrance in their life, and they'll move on to the next church. They'll move on to the next church. They'll move on to the next pastor. It might even be right down the street. They might even go to your friend's church and let him be their pastor or her be their pastor. And I saw this time and time and time and time again. I saw the propensity for betrayal. I saw that my children could get to a place.
Wow. He said that he saw the propensity for betrayal. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know Y'all don't mind. Give me half a second. I'm gonna look that word up. Hold on. I'm gonna look. Hold on. Let me look this word up. I don't want to be ignorant. Okay. Propensity. It says it is an often intense natural inclination or preference. Wow, let me see. Noun plural propensities. A natural inclination or tendency. A natural tendency. I guess a way of doing things. Okay. A propensity to drink too much. Oblique, obsolete, favorable, disposition, or partiality. Okay. Okay. And this is in the church? Or this was in the particular ministry that you were a part of and you were over, pastor? Now, I know that there's evil, and I know where good is, there's evil present too. Yeah, that's kind of hard to roll with that one, pastor. But I'm going to keep listening.
Where they would have friends in the church that they never saw again because their parents got mad and left. And guess what? That relationship with those children is severed forever. I remember asking my kids, I said, how do y'all deal with that? You know what my little children said? I think my daughter had to be at the time maybe 7 or 8. I don't know how old she was, but she told me, Daddy, we stopped caring a long time ago. We don't even expect people to be there forever. And we went through that season. Where because of the traumas of ministry. Now, some self-inflicted.
Okay.
Some of them had to do with.
Okay. Now listen now. I applaud this pastor. Don't know his name. I applaud him because he stood on the square and he spoke truthfully. He said some were self-inflicted. Kudos to you, pastor, for taking responsibility and accountability for the things that you may have mishandled, misrepresented, misspoke, done somebody the wrong way, may have spoken error. We all have done that growing in ministry. Nobody jumped in ministry and was running at 100% when ministry first started. In a particular ministry where I serve, we've been in ministry for 6 years. And the things that we went through last year were not the things that we went through the first year. We've grown. Some of the mistakes we made in the second year, we didn't make in the third year. So I understand that, Pastor. I thank God for you able to see that and be able to make some of those necessary corrections that you may have had to have made in your particular ministry.
The occupational hazard of being in the church, of being in ministry. And I saw this not only with myself, I saw it with hundreds of pastors that I knew personally. You know, you always hear the stories about spiritual abuse and how, man, they abused me and they took advantage of me and the pastor just wants your money and the pastor just wants this and he just wants that and it's all about money. It's all about them.
Now, I can rock with that, pastor, and I could have rocked with that even more 10, 15 years ago. And I could be wrong, but I don't think that that's the consensus of most people nowadays. I think and there may be some that's still out there, may be some residue out there, but I think we're way past that prosperity gospel era or that prosperity gospel movement, where a lot of people were seeing pastors and preachers finagle, hoodwink, bamboozle, do everything to run them up to get people's money. And in return, not really teaching how to give biblically, not teaching how to be a good steward over money, not teaching how to handle money biblically. People had this false notions of pastors doing whatsoever with the money or being deceitful, and rightfully so, because there are some wicked pastors out there, not all, and we're not going to do no broad brushing, but it's because of pastors that put that bad taste in others' mouth, will cause them to think, I used to be that way. I mean, I'm going to tell the truth and stay saved. This is the title of the show, right? Tell the truth and stay saved. I was one of those ones that only gave $1 or $2 or $3, mostly 10. I was one of those ones. I was one of those ones. And you know what? And I got convicted. Over 10, 15 years ago, I got convicted. And my mindset was, and I was like this, I was in a particular mega ministry, and my mindset was, man, please, we got all them deacons over there, all them folk driving all these good old cars, let them give. And I would give dollars, not knowing I would shoot my own self in the foot, not knowing that I was cursing my own self. But I didn't know. I was ignorant. I didn't know. And I really didn't know, well, let me say this, the light really came on when I began to walk in ministry. See, it's a difference. Listen to me. It's a very, very big difference between being associated with a ministry, okay, being a part of a ministry, or in ministry. When you're in ministry, you see a whole lot of stuff that you don't see on the forefront. You see the behind the scenes stuff. When I began to go to those leadership meetings and I began to hear those trustees read off the bills and the expenses, and here you got a $700 toilet tissue bill for the month, $500 paper towel bill for the month, $500 soap bill and this was for one church. I'm like, wow, $10,000 light bill for the month. Yeah, it costs to run ministry, y'all. And he didn't tell me to say this, but I'm going to say this. For y'all that give dollars, stop giving dollars. And give I know some of y'all like to run the Malachi 3 and 10. But I like to run what Paul said. I believe that principles of the Bible, but I stand on what Paul said in the New Testament. When Paul taught in Corinthians, he said that we should be able to give out of necessity. You shouldn't give out of necessity, but we should give, let every man give as he has purpose in his own heart. Not out of necessity, not out of need, not out of grudging, not because the pastor say run down here and you're going to be blessed. You give because you love, and I give more, but I'm gonna put a pin in that. But I just say that to say, yeah, that's a lie from the pit of hell. Pastors ain't taking some pastors aren't taking folks' money. Most of pastors working jobs to provide. I know my pastor, he works full-time ministry, and he doesn't take a salary.
You hear the rhetoric, you hear the stories. You don't often hear the stories about pastors that pay people's rent, eulogize folks, counsel people in their marital problems, counsel people's children, give hundreds of thousands of dollars to the community, to people around them, help people avoid being evicted from their homes, etc., etc., etc. You never hear those stories. You don't hear about the pastor that gets up in the middle of the night and makes hospital visits. You don't hear about those things, which is the majority of pastors. And I want to help you understand something that maybe you don't understand.
Now,
most pastors are...
Now, I don't agree with that one. I understand what he's saying, but I don't agree that most pastors do that. I can't agree with that. They should, but I can't say that they do. Now, I guess once a pastor reaches a certain level in ministry, I think that's when they begin to set up boards and teams and have those people to do that type of work. But I understand very well what you're talking about, Pastor.
Are underpaid and overworked.
Mm.
This idea that all pastors are flying around in a private jet is ridiculous. It's absolutely foolish and ridiculous. The average pastor is bivocational, meaning that he has to work at FedEx in the daytime and preach to you at Bible study on Wednesday night.
Mm.
He has to be a teacher in the daytime, dealing with students, and preach to you on Sunday morning.
Well,
the average pastor is bivocational. I know some of y'all don't want to hear this. You might want to log off, but I'm giving you facts. I'm giving you statistics. Most pastors are not wealthy. Most pastors have to work a second job.
Now, I get it, Pastor. Most pastors aren't wealthy. Most pastors do work, but Christ wasn't rich, Pastor. Yeah, we know his father owned 1,000 cattle on 1,000 hills. We understand that. But Christ himself said, birds have nests and foxes have holes, but the Son of Man has no place to even lay his head. I get that. Pastors aren't supposed to make money. I mean, it's ministry. We're servants. Our reward is should be the well-being and the spiritual maturity and growth of the members, right? I mean that's supposed to be a pastor's that's supposed to be the ticket, right? Let me welcome to the show. I can't see who was ever in the chat. I thank God for you. Thank you for being in the building. But yeah, you're not supposed to be to get a check, and and that's the problem. It's some people that went to seminary, they go to Bible colleges, they graduate because that's their whole gig is to become a pastor. Like pastor is a job. I mean, I know it's a job, it's work, but what I'm saying is they think pastoring is like being a manager at McDonald's or something, like it comes with the salary, like they're working for the money. If you set out in your heart to be a pastor to make money, you shouldn't. I don't believe God called you to pastor. I said it. If you're trying to get money, I don't believe God called you to pastor. Because it's not about the money. You're not going to get rich. Half of the time, you're going to put out more than what you receive. And you can't get upset about it. Not if you call. I mean, you can't get upset about it. Not if you call. Let me let him finish. Fair use. Let me let him finish. Fair use.
Just to be able to function. Okay? In the first 5, 6 years, 7 years of pastoring, my wife and I never took a salary from the church. My wife never even had her own salary. She was doing most of the work. She was the worship leader, the children's church director. She did the accounting, right? Denomination didn't send us out. So we started from attention to what I'm shocking.
Now, I'm sorry.
The shockingly.
He said that they didn't send him out. See, that I'm gonna leave that one alone. I think I messed up and fast forward a little bit. I
went to seminary school, and because of that, they felt the next reasonable course of action was to go into full-time ministry. Now, I'm gonna tell you something that's interesting. There are pastors with big churches that shouldn't be pastoring. There are pastors that may look seemingly successful who should not be pastoring. I don't believe they're called of God. I don't believe God ever sent them. Some were sent and some just went. But the question remains, when I saw this statistic and I was at one point very insensitive to it, and I thought to myself, man, why would that number be so high? Why do 4,000 to 6,000 pastors decide after answering the call?
Now, I wonder when this statistic went out. because I'm trying to do the math, and if we had 2 pastors to lead ministry within a year, that's too much. Okay, he said 4,000 to 6,000 pastors lead ministry a year. Is that worldwide? Is that nationally in this particular part of the world, in this country? That number seems too general, because if it's 7 billion people or more on the planet, that's really not a high number in comparisons. Now, I already said 1 leaving or 2 leaving is more than enough, but 45,000, I think those numbers may be conflated a little bit, but just
I'm
me.
not supposed to be doing this, and I don't want to do this anymore. I need you to hear me. I know you want me to rush through this, but I can't. You got to just listen. You're going to have to just be patient and let me get this out. And I want to tell you the shocking reason why I quit the ministry. I went through this season several years ago where I realized at some point that the people I was leading were not there for me. I realized that the people I led weren't there for me. Let me give you what I mean. I went through this very difficult season, false accusations, all kinds of things, and it affected the ministry.
Now, Pastor, well, that smoke, that's fire now.
My wife and I decided, I never forget it, we both had just had it. After being in ministry for several years, we said, you know what, we don't want to do this anymore. Because a person can walk into your church.
See that? Walk into your church.
You can pray for them. You can lay hands on them. You can cast demons out of them and their kids and their dog. And when something in their estimation goes,
but that's what you're supposed to do, Pastor.
They're offended.
I mean, I get it, Pastor, but it's bothering me, man. You talking like, you talking like that's not your job, though. You know, that's what you signed up for. That's what you signed up for. If you say God called you to pastor and you begin to start ministry, and you say God called you to pastor, and you don't have but 1 member, you're supposed to pastor that 1 member. If God called you to pastor without complaining, you're supposed to lay hands, cast out demons, visit them, nurture them, cultivate them, help birth their gifts, lay hands and pray for them, even their dogs, Pastor. That's what you signed up for. It's part of your job description. How can you get upset for doing what you're supposed to do? And even if they leave, you are the pastor, not them. Let me keep going. Fair loose.
If they feel like their season is up, they can walk away from you without saying a word.
Now,
walk away from you.
Now, on pastor's defense, now, listen to me. In the words of my beloved pastor friend, Pastor James S. Ware. That ain't right. Some of y'all saints out there trifling. Some of y'all trifling. You don't do that. If you join yourself to it, listen, I'm not saying that you casual in visiting. If you join a particular ministry and you join that church and you're under the spiritual care and guidance of that pastor of that church, and you verbally, whether with the mouth or a handshake, right hand of fellowship, committed yourself to that ministry, you're not supposed to just walk up and leave that ministry. I don't run with that. No, you trifling, you foul, you out of order. No, 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 no. You don't do that. It's just like you walking off the job, MIA. You don't do that. No call, no show. You don't do that. No, no, no. My family, my wife and I, when we left our particular ministry, let me say this like this, because I don't want to say when we left, when our season was up for this particular ministry, because sometimes seasons do change, as the pastor alluded to. We submitted letters. Okay. It wasn't about no church hurt, and people have different reasons why there's a plethora of reasons why people leave churches. However, what I am saying, whatever your reason is, you need to have a conversation with that pastor and leave on good terms. Don't burn bridges. That's what we did. We submitted letters to both pastors. Okay. And you do it the right way. So I stand with that pastor. You just don't walk off and leave a ministry hanging. You are trifling if you do that.
And they can cuss you out 6 ways from sundown. They can call you everything but a child of God, and they can tell everybody around them that you never did anything for them. You were just a hindrance in their life, and they'll move on to the next church. They'll move on to the next church. They'll move on to the next pastor. It might even be right down the street. They might even go to your friend's church and let him be their pastor or her be their pastor. And I saw this time and time and time and time again. I saw the propensity for betrayal. I saw that my children could get to a place where they would have friends in the church that they never saw again because their parents got mad and left. And guess what? That relationship with those children is severed forever. I remember asking my kids, I said, how do y'all deal with that? You know what my little children said? I think my daughter had to be at the time maybe 7 or 8. I don't know how old she was, but she told me, Daddy, we stopped caring a long time ago. We don't even expect people to be there forever. And we went through that season. We went through that season where because of the traumas of ministry. Now, some self-inflicted.
All right.
But some of them had to do with the occupational hazard of being in the church, of being in ministry. And I saw this not only with myself, I saw it with hundreds of pastors that I knew personally. You know, you always hear the stories about spiritual abuse and how, man, they abused me and they took advantage of me. And the pastor just wants your money, and the pastor just wants this and he just wants that, and it's all about money. It's all about them. And you hear the rhetoric, you hear the stories. You don't often hear the stories about pastors that pay people's rent, eulogize folks, you know, counsel people in their marital problems, counsel people's children, give hundreds of thousands of dollars to the community, to people around them, help people avoid being evicted from their homes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You never hear those stories. You don't hear about the pastor that gets up in the middle of the night and makes hospital visits. You don't hear about those things, which is the majority of pastors.
All right.
And I want to help you understand something that maybe you don't understand. Most pastors are underpaid and overworked. This idea that all pastors are flying around in a private jet is ridiculous.
That's not true.
It's absolutely foolish and ridiculous. The average pastor is bivocational, meaning that he has to work at FedEx in the daytime and preach to you at Bible study on Wednesday night. He has to be a teacher in the daytime, dealing with students, and preach to you on Sunday morning. The average pastor is bivocational. I know some of y'all don't want to hear this. You might want to log off, but I'm giving you facts. I'm giving you statistics. Most pastors are not wealthy. Most pastors have to work a second job just to be able to function. Okay? In the first 5, 6 years, 7 years of pastoring, my wife and I never took a salary from the church. My wife never even had her own salary. She was doing most of the work. She was the worship leader, the children's church director. She did the accounting, right? Denomination didn't send us out. So we started from grassroots. And so went through this season just quickly. Went through this season where I decided I will not do this anymore. I'm tired of it.
See that there it is. Now, Pastor, I didn't say it. Okay, you said it. He said that he decided. Okay. How is it that I understand? Let me leave that alone. Let me leave that alone. He made that decision. He made the decision.
I'm sick of it. The emotional and the psychological damage that I underwent trying to serve people was just overbearing. I couldn't take it anymore. And I told my wife, I said, I'm tired of it. I said, my ministry's over. It's just over. And I said, this is we can't do this anymore. And all of a sudden, I got this revelation. Spirit of the Lord revealed something to me. He says, Keenan, I never told you to do this for the people. I'm trying to help some pastors right now by the power of the Holy Ghost. He said, I never told you to do this for the people.
All right.
He said, in fact, you have to serve them.
Well,
listen to this.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Without setting your eyes on them. And I said, what in the world do you mean? How do you serve people without setting your eyes on me?
Yeah. How do you do that?
Jesus went to the cross.
All right.
Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. In fact, the Bible tells us in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, it says, consider him who endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest you become weary and faint in your mind. It says, you've not resisted unto blood, striving against sin. It says in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1, it says, wherefore, seeing we are compassed about with such great cloud of witnesses, let us run the race. Let us lay aside every weight and the sin that easily besets us, and let us run with patience the race that's set before us, looking unto Jesus.
Yes.
An athlete cannot run a race looking at the stands. If you're a basketball player and it's time to shoot a free throw, if you look at the people in the audience, you will never successfully finish that free throw.
Wow.
If you're a track star, you'll never, ever, ever complete your race if you are too preoccupied with the noise in the stands.
All right.
The Bible says, looking unto Jesus, and I realized I had to repent.
All right. Okay.
I took my eyes off of Jesus and I placed them on the people.
There it is.
Don't get me wrong. We're supposed to love the people and serve the people.
There it is. He said at some particular time, he took his eyes off God or ministry and start looking at the people. Come on, let me finish hearing your heart, Pastor.
But we're not supposed to focus on the people.
That's right.
See, the reason for ministry is God. People say to me all the time, well, no, the reason for ministry is people. No, it's not. The reason for ministry is God. Because if you don't learn to minister to the Lord first, you will not be in a position to minister to the people.
All right, come on.
A lot of you may say, I don't agree with that.
You talking good now. Come on.
Never pastored, or you won't be pastoring long. Let me say that again.
Come on, you talking good.
If you're saying that you don't agree with what I'm saying, you've either never pastored or you won't be pastoring long. The reason why that pastor has a stroke and a heart attack at 40, and the reason why that pastor is obese, and that pastor has high blood pressure, metabolic syndrome, pre-diabetes, the reason why their marriage is under such constraint is because that pastor has made the people he or she pastors his God. I know because I was.
Nah, I can't go with that one, Pastor. I can't say because of all those things. I can't say that the people, because I could be wrong, but the way you kind of alluding to make it sound like is the pastor having all this kind of hangs up and all this stuff because of the members. Nah, pastor could have some secret sin going on in his life. God could be just testing him. It could be some valleys that he's going through. You know, it could be some testing. I don't know, but I can't chop that up to saying all these things are befalling on him because of the members, Pastor. I can't agree with that one.
I was guilty of the same idolatry until I repented. You cannot love God's people and serve God's people if you keep looking at God's people and setting your eyes upon God's people.
Mm.
What am I saying to you? What do you mean? What do you mean you're not supposed to look at the people? No. Jesus served people, but he knew that people were not the reason for his service. That's why the Bible accounts when they told Jesus, we're going to make you a king. He said, nah. I'm good. I'm good on that.
That's right.
He says Jesus did not commit himself to man because he knew what was in man.
That's right.
He made him. He made us. People are broken. And hear me, Pastor. There's a potential pastor or pastor watching me right now. Hear this by the Spirit of God. People are not there for you. And if you think they are, you are deeply mistaken. They're not there for you. People are there for themselves.
All right.
Some folks are not even there for God. Let me say this again. They're not there for you.
Now, I believe that.
Not even there for God. They are there for themselves. They are there to solve a problem in their life. They're there to fix their marriage. They're there to see healing in their body. They're there so their family can come back together. They're there for their prayers to be answered. They're not there for you.
All right.
They are not there for you. The people are not the reason you are there. You are there for God. And if you don't focus on God and love God and make him the center of your service, you will not be an effective pastor.
All right.
You will join the statistic of pastors who quit ministry every single year. I need you to hear this by the Spirit as I close.
Well, hold on, Pastor. Wait a minute.
That's why.
Aren't you a part of that statistic, Pastor? Now, I could be wrong. He could have gone back to ministry. Let me hear him out.
To ministry because my focus got off. My focus was off. I was distracted. I was frustrated. I was irritated, and it came across. I didn't realize I had quit the ministry, but I was still ministering. Ooh. I quit pastoring while still pastoring.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? He said he had quit pastoring while still pastoring. Y'all don't hear Matthew 24? Listen, that's just what I didn't say. He said it. He said it. If he said it, then that means that Matthew 24 is here because he said he was still pastoring, but mentally and spiritually he done checked out. That's a dangerous place to be in, Pastor.
I didn't even realize that I had checked out, even though I was still in the building. Friends, this is why we need to make sure, pastor, leader, hear me. This is why you got to make sure that you guard your heart.
All right.
Examine your heart.
All right.
Why am I doing this?
That's right. That's right.
Why am I doing this?
That's right.
What is my motivation? What is the reason why I get up and go to church every Sunday? Is it for people? Is it for praise? Is it for power? Is it for popularity? Because if it is for any of those reasons, you are in idolatry.
Uh-oh.
If it's for the praise of the people, if it's for the popularity, if it's for the power, if it's for the politics, if it's for the positioning, you are in idolatry.
In idolatry.
You will not last long, my friend. Realign yourself before you become a statistic. Realign yourself before you become a casualty. Realign yourself before your family suffers unnecessarily. I had to apologize to my wife and my children because I had made ministry my mistress.
Ooh, ministry, your mistress.
In fact, I didn't even make ministry my mistress. I was married to ministry, and my family was my mistress. I was married to ministry, and my family was my mistress. Or maybe the other way around. I don't know. And this is why the Bible says, do all things as unto the Lord, because of the Lord you will receive the reward. God bless you. Remember, Jesus is Lord. Bye-bye.
Well, man, look at him. Look at him. Oh, man. He said a mouthful, y'all. He said a mouthful. Shout out to that pastor, man. Shout out to that pastor. I don't know his name, but I thank God for him sharing his heart and being transparent. Some things I didn't agree with, some things I do agree with. I do believe that some of the saints, the way they treat pastors, it's heartbreaking, and it shouldn't be that way. Yeah. We got to do better. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to share that video, man. That video was shared with me, and he had some good things to say, some things I didn't agree with. But the moral of the story is, you make sure that you count up the cost before you come in this way. It is a task. And it's not an easy walk to walk a righteous walk. Okay. It's not easy. But the Father give us strength through his Ruach HaKodesh, his Holy Spirit. He gives us strength to carry on and to overcome. His word says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the testimony of Jesus Christ. That's how we overcome. And to you pastors that are out there that are thinking about quitting, thinking about throwing in the towel, going through frustrations and hang-ups and hiccups and members just running amok, you hold tight, pastor. Don't shame the Father. If you say God calls you, you be sure to make your election sure. And your calling sure. You stand firm and you stand strong, no matter what them no matter what them saints do. All right, because God had called you to a work. Trust me, he will equip you to complete that work. So boy, Elder Casey, man, we doing something new. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying with us here on the Tell the Truth and Stay Saved show. Man, it's been a blast, man. I've been having fun, and I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be back in the business, man. You know what I'm saying? Because some folks said that I wasn't gonna do this no more. Well, that's what some say. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here. All praise to the Most High. Listen, man, I'm gonna show y'all a little something, man, and I'm gonna get on up out of here. I'm gonna get on up out of here. But listen, man, this week I've been doing something. I started something new. Let me get my camera back up in here. There we go. I started something new at the job, man, and people was telling me that I should have been doing it because I've done so many cars over the years, man. I probably could have had a whole collage of stuff that I could show people. But listen, man, I started a new thing, started a new TikTok thing, man. It's What I Do. Okay, it's what I do. So from now on, when I get a great car in, I'm gonna go through the process. I'm gonna shoot videos. I'm gonna put some music to it, man. I'm gonna post it on TikTok, man. Y'all follow me over on TikTok, Instagram. I don't know. TikTok, I think, is Grady Baby 404. Follow me over at Instagram. That's Grady Baby 404. I think I got something. Hold on. I got something for y'all right here. Yeah, appreciate that. Follow your boy, man. Do all that good stuff, you know. On that like, share. Follow me over at First Baptist Church of Laugh as well. trying some new things out, man. We pray the show gets better. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in, man. And thank you all so much for tuning in, man. Listen, man, check this little video. I did a Lambo on I did a Lamborghini Monday, and show this little quick video of this Lambo, man. Little TikTok. Let's see something.
What? So, just breakfast.
It's your boy, Elder Casey, and I'm off up in the kitchen cooking good.
Yeah, come on.
Paint when it clean, paint dripping, gripping wood. Eldership certified, hands laid on me with that oil. I'm a real graded baby, hot Atlanta be the soul.
Man, that thing clean.
It's your boy, Elder Casey, and I'm off up in the kitchen cooking good. Like that thing when it clean, paint dripping, gripping wood. Eldership certified, hands laid on me with that oil.
I'm a real graded baby. Hot Atlanta be the soul. Yeah, that beat riding too, ain't it? Yeah. Listen, man, somebody want to put some verses on that? We go ahead and drop that record. It ain't dropped yet, y'all. I'm playing around, man. Maybe tonight I put some on it. Yeah, come on. Come on.
It's your boy,
Elder Casey,
and I'm off up in the kitchen cooking good. Like that thing when it clean, paint dripping, gripping wood. Eldership certified, hands laid on me with that.
You wouldn't believe if I told you. Would you believe me if I told you? I do this for a living. Hey, man, that thing be right, man. Listen, man, that was on Monday, man. That was my breakfast, y'all. Can you imagine walking into work at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning? You got a Lambo sitting out there, $400,000 car that you got to work on. This is another video I did on 2 days ago. Was it yesterday? Yesterday or 2 days ago. The Big Homer Sunday. World famous drummer. This boy used to drum for Earth, Wind, and Fire, Eric Clapton, and some of the greats came in and hollered at me on Sunday, and I did a little something for him.
It's your boy, Elder Casey, and I'm off up in the kitchen cooking good. Like that thing when it clean, paint dripping, gripping wood. Eldership certified, hands laid on me with that oil. I'm a real graded baby, hot Atlanta be the soul.
Yeah, listen, man, y'all stay tuned tomorrow evening. Tell the Truth and Stay Safe show will be going live. I got a special guest. The Honorable Dr. Herb Brunswick will be in the building all the way from Kingdom of God Learning Center. He will be bringing teaching a powerful series called Blacks in the Bible. What it do, man? It's your boy Elder Casey. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, but I do this for a living. I do this for a living. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, man, Honorable Dr. Herb Brunswick along with two other brother Greg, and also brother Albert will be in the building on the Tell the Truth and Stay Safe show. He's going to be doing a series called Blacks in the Bible. I don't think you heard it taught this way. I don't think you heard it explained this way. No, we're not promoting ethnicity or nothing like that, but he just disseminated some information. He brought this teaching to my attention about 15 years ago. No, I've been married 18 years. About 10, 15 years ago. And he had went into retirement. So the Most High gave us a platform. And so he's going to open up a door for him to come on the show tomorrow. And so we're going to start Blacks in the Bible series. So you want to stay tuned right here, man. Tomorrow on Tell the Truth and Stay Safe show with your boy Elder Casey, man. It's been good. It's been real, man. Appreciate all y'all, man. Leave me some likes, thumbs up, all that in the comment section. And share and like the video, man. And like I said, once again, if you do desire to be on the Tell the Truth and Stay show as a guest, you want to talk about something, send me an email right here, right there. Tell the Truth and Stay Safe at gmail.com. You got any show ideas, anything you want me to talk about, anything you want me to review, just send me an email, man, and we will get right to it. Listen, man, I love you with the love of Yeshua, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Amen. Till the next time we see each other. Peace.
Shotgun, baby. 4 deep off in the lag. You rock riding shotgun, baby. Grace and mercy in the back. You rock riding shotgun, baby. 4 deep off in the lag.
Yeah, it's your boy Elder Casey. We in the building. Yeah. Shout out to B. Johnson. And the E.